Hi everyone, Raphael Harry here, and you're listening to White Label American, a podcast where we hear stories from an immigrant or two, sometimes more. Thank you for listening and enjoy the show. Welcome to a brand new episode of White Label American. Thank you for joining us. Before we begin, some house announcements. We have brand new merch added to the store. We have hoodies, we have mugs, we have stickers. Yes, I should have had stickers all this time. But yeah, we have all that now. So go up to vetclothing.com or you go directly to whitelabelamerican.com and go to the merch store on the website and access it. You see all the stuff. The goodies are there. And from time to time, there'll be some of those goodies will be going out as gifts too to listeners. So, hey, this is a tactical episode. It's a tactical period. I've been watching that guy on Twitter with the tactical self defense videos. It's hilarious. That's not my recommendation for this episode, but that guy is that's why I keep saying tactical today. So pardon me for tactical talk now, because now I can't stop saying tactical. But yeah, check out whitelabelamerican.com. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, give us 5 stars and positive reviews. You can leave voicemails there. And today's recommendation is going to be from Planet Money podcast. It's just something simple. It's not a long podcast that I'm picking, but it's we're in an era that there's been a lot of talk about inflation and the economy right now. So just maybe you might want to check this episode that came out October 29th called Night of the Living Inflation, and it digs into past inflations and see how you apply that to your life and see if you might be overreacting or just get familiar with inflation, because a lot of people use that word inflation in a crazy way now. And there's stuff from the past is always tied to the present. That's all I'll say. So with that being said, let's jump to today's guest. I'm honored to have a returning guest for his first solo episode. He is a New York dad. He's a New York sporting bar legend, and he is one of the biggest wrestling fans you ever meet. He's also a single dad, so he's going to give us some tips into dating in the pandemic. And there's a lot more to this brother, who is a good friend of mine, one of my oldest friends in New York. And yeah, so without saying too much, I give you Cesar Benoit Jr. Welcome on the show.
Thank you for having me.
How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you. How about yourself?
I'm well. This weather has been, I don't know. I don't really like this weather back and forth. It's like a problematic relationship that's not. It reminds me of Texas weather that keeps fluctuating within the same day. You get the 4 seasons.
A little cooler, at least, than Texas, I would imagine.
Not right now. It's not.
No? Okay.
Yeah, it just makes me. I feel like I'm in Dallas area.
No, okay.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Cause I'm feeling like, even right now I feel like I'm overdressed, but I'm afraid that if I start taking off all the layers of clothing, then it's gonna get cooler. Cause it happened to me one day. I was like, okay, I don't need all these layers of clothing, and then I'll step outside, and then that was the day it got pretty cold.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, but I always have backup with me, gloves and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
gotta stay
Smart.
ready. So people don't want to know about me; they want to know about you.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So you're here. You have a beautiful name, Cesar Benoit. Give us the history of your names. How you come
Well-
about those names.
Cesar Benoit, yes. Junior. I'm obviously named after my father. He's Cesar Benoit Sr., or was. He's not alive anymore, unfortunately. French last name. After doing my genealogy, I'm 35% Spaniard. I have, if you add up all the African, I'm actually 25% African. So,
I knew.
hello,
I was
brother.
waiting.
um, and 1% Eskenazi Jew. So, I just
Oh,
celebrated Hanukkah. No,
oh
I'm
wow.
joking, obviously. But yeah, so Brazilian mother, uh, Spanish Puerto Rican father. So I also have something to do with the immigrant experience, even though I myself am not an immigrant.
Okay, so uh, you said 25% African.
Yes,
Well, where in Africa?
I think it's like the west coast of Africa.
Oh, okay. So,
So there's a bunch of little countries that if you added up everything,
mm-hmm.
I'm 25%.
Oh, so there's definitely Nigeria in there.
Yeah,
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 'cause
somewhere in there.
Nigeria is too big, so they have Nigeria always claims something. There's a whole lot of people that got shipped out of Nigeria. So
Yeah, and so being Brazilian,
yeah,
I'm
Brazil is
sure,
also tied to
and I'm also part
Nigeria.
Portuguese. I'm like 20% Portuguese, so
Yeah,
I'm sure there's a story there somewhere
yeah.
that probably isn't really good, but here I am.
Hey, it's the world is a melting pot in
Yes,
different ways, and both the positive and negative adds up to how we all came to be where we are today.
exactly.
So it's part of what makes us, but it doesn't mean we shouldn't. Uh, it's good that we recognize it, so we can use it to move forward.
Exactly. That's a good
And
way to
that's what
think about it.
I think kills many people because, like, oh, man, I wasn't one of those who I didn't commit slavery. Like, yeah, it's okay. So why can't you move forward? Why can't you do something positive about it? You
Right,
know,
right, right.
that's what kills people. But yeah, let's continue. I love that. I love that breakdown. So French. I always figure every time I pronounce your name, I'm like, that name is French. Benoit. It's French because first time before I even heard it from you, I knew. But it's like just came out of my head. I just said Benoit. I was like, but I thought it was Spanish and Brazilian coming from you. And then I was like, Benoit, Benoit, Benoit. It's
Very
French.
French.
So you know what part of France?
No, I don't. I have no
Mm.
clue.
Do you know the meaning?
I think it's Bennett.
Oh,
It's like the same. As actually, I think in France it's a first name.
okay.
A lot of people are named Benoit. Like, I don't know if anybody that listens used to watch hockey. There used to be a player named Benoit Hogue many,
Mm,
many years ago. Like things like that. So it's mostly a first name out there.
mm.
So I remember I actually dated a French woman many years ago, and she's like, "It's a really strange last name." Most people in France, if they have the name Benoit, it's a first name.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I
like
did not know
my
that
last
until
name Harry. Most people
yeah,
I've met first name Harry.
right, exactly,
Yeah.
yeah,
So, yeah, but that's beautiful though. I always love asking about names, and there's always a journey about there's a story to
yeah.
names. So
I hated my name growing up.
really,
Yeah, I really hated it.
why?
I thought it was weird. I always wanted a name
It
like
stood out too much.
yeah, John Smith. That would have been
Yeah.
nice. But now I kind of like it, like Cesar Benoit. It kind of flows off the tongue. So
Ah.
it's nice.
Uh, was there a lot of mispronunciation,
Oh,
mispronouncing of your name?
yes,
Okay.
yeah, Cesar Bennett,
Yeah.
Benoit, which for a while I did call myself. But then when
Uh,
I had a relationship again with my father,
mhm.
he's like, no, it's Benoit.
Okay.
It's Benoit. You have to pronounce it Benoit. That's the right way. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, that's
Mm,
the right way.
mm.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm thinking back now. I don't think I know at one time tried to change my name, but it was still to an English sounding name, and uh, I never tried to go like traditional or local.
Yeah.
But I know it was until I moved to Western Nigeria that I really like owned my name because a lot of Western Nigeria is full of Yorubas. It's Yoruba majority in that part of the
Okay.
country, and yeah, there it was. I stood out, and the only one of the pushbacks that I got was like a lot of people were like, "Oh, are you Ghanaian or are you Liberian?" And Liberian meant I was a refugee
Oh.
because a couple of quite a few Liberian kids there who were children of refugees
Oh, okay. Wow.
living in that area because of the Liberian civil war. And they were like, your name doesn't look Nigerian. And so I was like, huh? Every other place I'd lived in the south in the south of Nigeria, nobody saw my name. I was like, what kind of name is this?
Right.
Until I came to the West. So hell no, it's you guys who got a problem. So I said that's where the pushback came from. But it was also part of I'm better than you guys mentality. Because I'm also from a minority tribe, and this was one of the big three tribes in Nigeria. So there was also that element to the confrontations that the name provided.
Right.
But the only time I tried to change the name, there were two names that came out. I think the first time I tried to create a name for myself was Stephen. Stephen Stven, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And then later on, the one that stuck was Fernando, which one of my teachers in high school will make Fernando Po after the city in, I think, Sao Tome and Principe, the capital of Sao Tome and Principe. It's a small, tiny island of west central Africa.
I've actually heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah. And there are people in certain parts of Western Nigeria who do not know that my name is Raphael or Raphael. They know me as Fernando Po. Yeah.
That's
So
funny.
I'm pretty sure that's why they can't find me on Facebook or anywhere, because they're probably searching for Fernando Po. What happened to that Fernando Po guy?
Fernando Po, he's gone. He disappeared.
I know someone found me one day. Someone was talking to me one day. I was like, I just realized that you're Fernando. You're that guy. You're Fernando. I've been on my Facebook for how many years and all this time. I was like, wait, you are Fernando. I was like, yeah. And there are also others who knew me as Fernando Kojo, because that was the name I came on social media with. Kojo.
Like the movie, the book.
Kojo is Ghanaian.
Oh, okay.
From Ghana. It means born on Monday. I was born on Monday.
Well, you know the book, right?
No.
Stephen King.
Oh.
Cugo?
No.
Cujo.
Cujo.
Yeah, Cujo.
No,
look it up.
But I haven't read that, but I've read a couple of Stephen King books.
Yeah.
But this is Kodjo.
Okay, close.
Yeah.
Interesting. Huh?
Yeah.
Never knew
that.
So. Fernando.
So I think when I first came on Facebook, that was my name, Fernando Kojo. That is my nickname, and then my Ghanaian name, and then I left that for some years, and by the time I switched to my real names, there are people who were like, so you that guy? You've been on my Facebook. Who are you again?
Now they recognize
I've been
you.
talking to you for like 5 years. I just realized you were this guy.
Yeah, social media.
Yeah. So, you, a child of, your parents were immigrants, and you were born here in America. So, give us, introduce us to your childhood. Where were you born and raised, and what was childhood like for you?
Well, the first 5 years I was here in Manhattan with my mother and father and my sister, my older sister, who was born in Brazil and then came over with my mother.
Oh, nice.
Different father.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was just me and my mother, and we went to upstate New York in the Hudson Valley, the Catskills area. There's supposedly or apparently there was a very large Brazilian community up in the Hudson Valley where my mother went and worked in the old school Catskill country clubs up there, kind of like the Dirty Dancing hotels up there. And so she worked at a place, and I grew up in this really nice, idyllic town in upstate New York that was very mixed. So there was people from Brazil, from all over South America. There were Asians, there were blacks, there were whites. So it was a nice place to grow up because it was small. It was safe. It was a very small town America, but at the same time, it was a melting pot of different cultures. And so you were exposed to everything, growing up.
But heavily influenced by Portuguese.
A lot of
flavor.
Yeah, those were the people that my mother hung out with. So tons of Brazilians. Unfortunately, I don't speak Portuguese, but I was surrounded by like the soccer culture, the food, the language, the music, things like this. I remember very distinctly from growing up. Yeah, it was a great place to grow up. Unfortunately, I didn't see my father until many, many years later. Actually, by accident, I ran into him.
Oh, wow.
It was the 30th anniversary on Friday. of me meeting my father again.
Oh.
And you mentioned wrestling, so
Yeah.
I actually went to Madison Square Garden for a wrestling
Which
show.
we share a good, fantastic experience.
Yeah, and he was there, and my mother happened to come with me that day, and the rest is history. We got
So
to meet.
she was like, "That's your dad."
Yeah, she's like, "There's your father right there," and so we got to meet. And
Wait. So she just saw the man there and said, "That's your." You didn't know that was your dad. If
I had no.
if it had been just you, you wouldn't have known that was your
I
dad.
would have had no idea. No.
Do you think he would have known that was you?
It's,
If he had
it's
seen you?
possible. It's possible. But he was there maybe like 5 or 6 rows in front of us.
Oh.
And I remember my mother standing up and pointing like, "There's your father." Like, "Oh God, no, please no."
So did she go up to him or did
She went
call
up
him?
to him, yeah, and he had a little girl with him. So I had a sister.
Oh, wow, that's
a pretty incredible story. One of these days I have to write like a book about it or something. Yeah.
yeah. You used to write blogs before.
I used to, I used to write a lot with about my favorite soccer team, Valencia, Amunt, and and also about hockey. I used to write about and the New York Islanders and.
Well, I just brought that up to show that I know. I used to write too before, but I haven't been writing seriously for some time. But yeah, you should. Yeah, there's something to write about there because wow.
Yeah.
I never got to meet my dad.
Oh, I'm
And
sorry.
He passed after I think it was a year. Yeah, it was about a year after he passed away. I was told he was no more, and it was in a very nonchalant way. I was told, and I was like, oh, but that's something that I don't know how I would have reacted if I was at a public venue and it was just pointed out to me. I know, like if I was with my mom, the same scenario like yours, I think the same thing would have happened. My mom would have just gone up to me, "Hey, that's your son!" Like, because my mom would have been excited. She was like the only excited person to talk about him. Sometimes I'm like, "Oh, did you talk to your dad?" I'm like, "How will I just talk to him?"
Right, exactly. I don't know who he is.
I see his photos in papers. That's the only difference,
Right.
between my situation and the situation of other people. But I saw my dad in I see his photos sometimes, and I used to see his photos sometimes in newspapers, and I'll be like, "Wow, this is okay." But it's like I just opened the Nigerian newspaper website. He was quite a big name, and
Oh, he was a politician or something? Or?
no, but he was just a big name.
Oh.
He was never in the forefront of politics, but he was one of the people who moved behind the scenes.
No.
But he was also on the board of one of the largest newspapers, and then actually lived in the same city with him for like 3 years, and he owned one of the biggest hotels there.
Wow.
So it was weird. We always driving past. Anytime we went past the hotel, and I would see the hotel, I'm like, "Oh, my dad owns that hotel." But who can I tell? I've been told right from childhood that hotel belongs to your dad. I'm like, okay.
You should have walked in and just introduced yourself.
I did try that once. Didn't work out good. It wasn't a smart idea.
Oh, okay.
When I think back about it, I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure many people did that. Yeah, just show up and like, oh, I'm his son.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
He's not in. He's not in.
Oh.
Yeah. Come back next time. When it's next time, there's no cell phones, no phone number. Just come back. Try. We don't know when he'll be around. Come again. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Wow. So, that's that was amazing. So, just going back to you meeting your dad like that. How what was the first thing that you said to him, or what was the first thing he said to you?
The first thing he said to me is like, "Hi, I'm your father. Would you like a soda?" I was like, "No." I'd been told so many bad things about him by my mother. My mother was not a big fan.
Yeah.
And so obviously I had no affection or adoration or even need to see him. My mother, I think my mom did a well enough job raising me on her own.
Yeah.
Although I'm sure she would have liked the assistance.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was the first thing he said. We developed a relationship, and actually my parents got back together.
Oh, wow. Okay, I wasn't expecting that.
So throughout my college life,
man.
they were together, and they would come up to visit me in college, and they were like school kids. They would be goofy and funny and
Okay, so how did you feel when they got back?
I know it's a strange story.
Ah.
How did I feel? I felt it was wonderful to have my father back. He was a great guy, and we had a lot of fun together. We obviously had the interest of professional wrestling.
So that's where you got it from.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, no, I had watched, independently, but it's kind of funny that we both.
But you inherited that from.
Yeah.
No. You got it from him.
And it's funny because I met my aunt, his sister, who unfortunately passed away this past year because of COVID.
Oh no. Sorry to hear that.
She was like my one real strong tie to him. She would say, she'd tell me funny stories about him, like or like my grandfather, who's apparently this really debonair, well-dressed gentleman,
Oh, the French, he was real French.
Yeah, French, Spanish, like he real European man.
Yeah.
And she's like, he used to smoke his cigars and go to these nice restaurants and always dress up. And then he'd come home and watch effing professional wrestling. He'd watch WWF. And she'd be like, what
is this?
What the hell are you doing? Why are you watching this? And I guess it passed to Cesar and then somehow genetically passed to me and now my daughter. So it's a family thing.
Wrestling's in the family.
Yeah, wrestling runs in the family.
It runs in the family. Okay. So for everyone listening, if you want to come into this family, you know what you're getting.
You got to watch
AEW
and WWE.
If you don't plan to watch wrestling, you got to be okay with Cesar watching wrestling.
Yeah.
It's not going to work out if you don't.
An hour or two a week, and I'm good. Yeah.
So let me jump back to your childhood.
Yes.
What would you consider your favorite childhood memory?
Wow. God. Childhood memories. I don't know, being in nature, one of the beautiful things about being in upstate New York is we got to be outside all the time. Kids now, they are on their tablets and phones, and this makes me sound like a really old man, but back in my day.
That's why I call you old. So.
Yeah. Back in my day, we used to go outside and use our imaginations and, bike and all these stuff. So it's wonderful to have grown up in a really beautiful place like upstate New York and in the mountains and the trails and the hiking. So I would say those are probably some of the best memories, like, stargazing and hiking and going up in the mountains and camping and things like this, being by the river and, just being in nature. Loved, like I said, my mom worked at this country club. And so the scenery around there was just beautiful. Beautiful falls, beautiful trails, and et cetera, et cetera. So it was.
Does that place still exist?
It's another place now. Okay. It's another resort.
Oh.
Yeah, but now the original family is no longer a part of it. Yeah, unfortunately.
At least they still kept it. Unlike, you remember that place where we had very nice birthday, the German place?
Yes, it's gone, right?
It's gone. Yeah.
There was a big article in the newspaper about it. Yeah.
Every time I walk past it, I'm like.
It's sad, yeah.
It's sad, yeah, because they're working on it. I think there's some people there's a petition to save it, but I'm like, they've already torn down all the statues that were outside.
Yeah.
It's gone.
I actually went back to that hotel maybe like 10 years after I had moved from upstate New York, after college,
Yeah.
And it was dilapidated. It had been run down. And I was able to walk through, and I was almost crying because it's such a big part of my youth. But now that somebody fixed it up and it's operational again, so that's good.
Wow. So you, if by the time I met you, I just assumed you were all Brooklyn. I was you represented Brooklyn. You were heavily Brooklyn. I didn't even realize then that there was a big part of upstate New York into you until I began to know a lot more about you. So, and then I realized that there's also a part of you that went to Spain and
I went to Spain.
Part of Spain. So, when did you decide to leave upstate? What made you not stay in upstate? Like, this is it. I'm settling in upstate. What happened that you didn't stay upstate?
I just needed out. But it's funny because I ended up moving back maybe when I was in my early 30s with a young woman that I was dating who had an art studio or something up upstate, and we went to Beacon. We moved to Beacon, which is a small town right on the Hudson River. It's a
Yeah.
real arty town. They have like Dia Beacon, all this kind of stuff. And I fell right back in love with being in upstate New York. I never wanted to leave, but eventually I made my way back to Manhattan.
So
Back to Brooklyn and Manhattan.
yeah. So I've had a guest upstate. She was in Catskill, if I'm not mistaken,
Beautiful town.
or closer to Cat. No, Albany. I think
Oh,
or
that's
closer
the
to Albany.
capital.
Yeah,
It's nice up
capital.
there.
Yeah, it's nice up there. Albany or Catskill, I'm not mistaken where she is at. Well, and she's also into arts, and when you just mentioned moving to Beacon, and I was like, yep, there's must be something up there about the art scene.
There's a big art scene up there, yeah.
Because she used to be in I think she was in Brooklyn before moving that way, and she's from Puerto Rico
Oh, wow.
and has a lovely art gallery up there.
I mean, they used to call Beacon like North Brooklyn.
Oh, wow.
Because a lot of Brooklynites would move up there once they, settled down and wanted to start a family.
Yeah.
But, after COVID, I've always thought of moving back, but obviously I'm not going to because I have my kid and all that. But maybe one day, maybe one day I'd like to go
Okay.
back up there. But the real estate after COVID,
Yeah.
when everyone was fleeing New York City, now all the prices
Gone up.
are rocket up,
Aye.
sky high.
Aye.
So I can't afford it anymore.
Jeez, man, that's yeah. It sounds like the kind of place I probably would have considered moving to if I wanted to give up my love affair with Brooklyn. But yeah, now that you've brought the reality of the prices, I'm like, yep, I'm good.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with Brooklyn.
I
Brooklyn
love-
is great.
I love Brooklyn.
Brooklyn
I
is
love
great. I
Brooklyn.
love it.
Yeah, the rent prices are still, but I love it.
That's true.
So, one question I forgot to ask about when you met your dad. How old were you when you met your dad at MSG for the
30
first
years
time?
ago, so 17.
Oh, 17.
17
Oh,
years
so you
old.
had that teenage angst.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was a little pimply faced loser. Yeah. But it was funny because I was just scrolling Twitter the other day and somebody posted a video like 30 years ago today. This match happened, Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair. And I was like, oh my God, that's the day I met my father.
Wow.
It was 30 years ago today.
I probably watched that much.
That was unbelievable to me.
I was back in Nigeria, and I watched. That was one of the matches that we'll probably watch over and over.
Yeah.
And over on TV because wrestling used to be a big part. I was in Benin City, and wrestling was actually bigger than soccer.
Really?
Yeah, for a period in time,
Wow.
wrestling was bigger than soccer.
That's
For
amazing.
us, then it was WWF.
Right, yeah.
And then later became WWE. By the time it came WWE, I was no longer watching wrestling. By then, soccer had become bigger. But before soccer became bigger, we were like, you were either Hulk Hogan or you were the Ultimate Warrior.
Right.
You were slamming yourselves. You were.
It's like having teams,
Yeah, British Bulldog. We were Macho Man, Jake the Snake. Some people probably broke their necks because of the DDT and all that stuff. Yeah,
There's actually a wrestling bar here, not far from here, called DDT. It's like,
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
yeah,
I've seen it.
I've been going there a lot
I
lately.
think that crossed my mind the first time I saw it.
Yeah.
I was with Verena. We walked past and I was like, DDT. I was like, I think I gave her one or two stories of us being kids giving
the DDT.
DDT and until someone started crying. I'll go tell my mommy what you did to me. Like, oh, don't tell mommy. It's okay, but in wrestling, people don't cry. And
boom, DDT.
You're not supposed to do that on a hard cemented floor.
Probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
These people are trained.
Yeah,
They know what they're doing.
As kids, we didn't know that.
Right, exactly.
We didn't realize that, like, or throwing punches at someone, like, why is there no sound?
How come it hurts?
Come, let me punch you again. Like, I need to, like, no, the kids start crying. Oh, I'm gonna go tell my dad. Like, what? No, man, you gotta realize, we're doing wrestling. It's wrestling. Let the punch land, and then it has to make a sound. Do you hear the sound like on TV? Like, no, No, there should be a disclaimer. Don't try
Yes,
this at
exactly.
home.
Don't try this at home.
Because we didn't get the memo. I know one of us broke his arm. It was the older kids. They're in London now. I don't. One of them is in London. I think the other one's in Scotland. And he was trying to slam his brother. And they actually used the mattress and they missed.
Oh my God.
The guy landed on his arm with crack.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of stuff.
And so that's that happened. Everybody took off
Yeah, everyone's
from the
gone.
house because I think that their dad was a retired captain, but we always from I think Nigerian Air Force, but we always acted like he was still in the Air Force and he was going to round us up and
Oh,
flog
God.
us. Everybody just took off like, oh, no, I'm not. I didn't see
do
anything.
it. I didn't do it. He didn't. He
Disappear.
fell off his bike.
Disappear and show up to their house for like a week. Oh man, good times.
Yeah, definitely.
So maybe I'll just ask this question about you and your wrestling. What was your first wrestling match that you remember watching?
So I distinctly remember this because it was my sister's ex-husband who showed it to me for the first time when he came up to upstate New York. I was 5 years old, and it was Greg the Hammer Valentine against some, enhancement talent.
Right.
One of these guys who's there to make him look good.
Yeah.
He's gonna lose. He's there just to make him look.
Oh yeah, I remember those type of fights.
Yeah, they call him a jobber, but
yeah.
and so he put him in the figure four. I don't know if you remember the figure four, which is like to break his leg.
If I see it, I'll remember.
And he, the other guy was like screaming in pain, like he was breaking his leg.
Mm-hmm.
And I was hooked. I was like, this is the best. This is awesome. It's like superheroes, but they're real people,
Oh man, Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Yeah, Greg the
I
Hammer
haven't
Valentine.
heard that name in ages. I'm trying to remember his face.
He's got long blonde hair. He's kind of like he's built, but he's more like puffy built. Like
Mhm.
a big guy, but looks more like a brawler than a really
so,
strong.
Like Canadian Mountie.
Maybe the same body shape, yeah.
Okay.
But he used to be like wearing like sequined robes and
Yeah.
he had the long blonde flowing hair,
Oh,
the flowing blonde hair, and yeah.
it's a name that I feel it like I know that name. I know
Yeah.
that name. But yeah, I tell you, man, wrestling was huge. Like one of the guy whose arm got broken. They used to have tapes like from the first WrestleMania. They had all the tapes. I can't remember what WrestleMania was my last one that
The last one you watched.
after that it became like the States TV stopped showing it, but it used to be like a big event.
Yeah.
But the kids whose parents, like after they showed it on state TV, that they were like the first family to have it. They just like pow, they had the video, the VHS, and I was like, dang. So you want to be at their house,
Yeah,
so
of
you can
course.
watch it and like, man, look at all the moves, and then we'll be like, oh, we hate Shawn Michaels because I think the last one I really watched was the Iron Man match between Shawn Michaels and Bret Hitman Hart,
WrestleMania 12.
WrestleMania 12, because I couldn't forgive Shawn Michaels for that win. It was so annoying. I was like, how they no, that was so I was mad at Shawn Michaels winning because Hitman shouldn't have lost that fight. It was 60 minutes. It was up. Hitman, okay, he's
They
still
went
champion.
extra time, didn't
Then
it?
they added.
Yeah, they
like,
added.
No. They add more minutes, and then Shawn Michaels got him there. Oh, this is robbery. This is no. I'm done. I'm done.
You're
I'm
done.
done. No, I can't do this. Yeah, so I think that was my teenage angst coming out then. But yeah,
That's funny.
because we used to be like, oh, Shawn Michaels, he can't be world champion. He can't be. He's not Hitman's level. Hitman's our favorite. We used to cut papers, paint it the purplish,
The pink
the
or
pink, purple, whatever color that was. And oh man, then you give the smaller kids the glasses. Like, yeah, there you go.
That's right. He used to give his kids the
I gotta
kids.
give it to the kids. Like, here you go, little kid. The little kid, like, yeah. Everybody was Hitman. Hitman was like, I don't know if he realizes how popular he was in Benin City. But,
He was so popular, like everywhere. Yeah.
he was our huge inspiration. Everybody wanted to be like him, and then win our fights with a sharpshooter. Yeah. I still remember the move.
the sharpshooter. That's right. Yeah, he's
Coming out.
he's still kicking, and he had a stroke maybe like 12 years ago.
Yeah, I think I saw you posting about
Yeah.
that, and that's how I was like, oh no,
But he's doing good.
oh good.
If you're out there, Brett,
Yeah.
love you.
Yeah, love you too, man. Love you. So your story is not, we've had a lot of wrestling, but we're going to jump out of wrestling.
Okay, good.
And,
I mean, it's not a wrestling podcast.
Yeah, it's not a wrestling podcast, but we love our wrestling fans. I haven't been in the wrestling game for some time, but Cesar's my connection to the wrestling world. And, yeah, I love seeing how he goes with wrestling, and if someone comes after him, like, well, I can't believe you're into wrestling. I'm like, man, go sit down somewhere. Like everybody, we are all nerds for something. I'm a nerd for Marvel. I'm a nerd for comics. I'm a nerd for my movies and shows that I like. So I love seeing him showing his passion for his wrestling. So it's not something that hurts anybody. I mean, the professionals, they're professionals, so they know what they're getting into. Yeah, so
Exactly.
I enjoy him. I enjoy seeing him follow his passion and taking his daughter to go watch games like that too. So there's still other stuff that
Yes.
got you out of New York
Yeah.
and America totally.
America. Yeah.
But before we jump into that, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, you tell us a love story that begins in New York
Oh boy.
and takes us to Spain.
Uh-oh.
Hi everyone, we've made it 2 years, and who would have thought so? So let's go further and make it 3, make it 4, make it 5, make it 6. Who knows? 20. But we can't do this without your support. So join us on Patreon at patreon.com/White Label American pod or linktree.com/White Label American. Go there and you'll see our Patreon link, and you can join us for as low as $3. We have bonus content, we have bonus materials. There's so much juice over there that we don't release to the public, and yeah, you can contribute in making this podcast better. You can send questions, you can send your ideas, and also there's a lot of new things that are coming. The announcements are made on Patreon first, because we have to, take care of people who help make this podcast possible. So you can be the one to make this podcast what you want it to be. Come join us on Patreon and make it what you would like to see. Join us, make it fantastic. Keep the 5 stars coming in, keep the love coming in. Thank you for the privilege of your company. Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. All right, Cesar, take us on this love story that begins in New York City and takes you to Spain.
Oh, I was taking a class at NYU, the adult education classes. It was a sports TV production class with the ex-president of ABC Sports, Jimmy Spence.
Oh, wow.
I remember him. Yeah, it was a really good class, actually. And this young lady from Spain happened to sit in front of me one day. And, it was, how do they say? Love at first sight. And yeah, we just became really good friends. Yeah, and I ended up in Spain. There's more to it than that, obviously, but
Yeah.
I did follow her there. Yeah, without her blessing.
Oh, boy.
If she happens to be listening to this, it was definitely without her blessing. But I think then she grew accustomed to me being there, and then slowly but surely we started dating.
Oh,
Wait.
So, when you followed her to Spain, was it like you were handing out bouquets of flowers?
I was just I couldn't stop thinking about her,
Yeah.
and I just took a chance and said, you know what, I'm gonna go out there and see what happens. I have 3 months. I'm gonna stay out there for 3 months. I'm gonna go to language school because my Spanish wasn't 100% great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's like, please don't come. If I remember correctly, she was engaged.
Oh,
She was engaged.
wow. We got a Fabio moment.
And yeah, I went out there and we had a wonderful time together. It's one of my favorite memories. Obviously, Spain's a beautiful country. She showed me around. it was lovely. Valencia was where she was from,
Yeah.
which obviously became another passion of mine. The soccer team out there. Mostly it's the passion that she had and her family had for it transferred to me, and I became an enormous fan, as you know, as my friends know, of that soccer team. I actually went back there in 2019 for a big festival in Valencia called Las Fallas, which they do these paper mache huge figurines in the streets, and then they light them on fire the last day, and the fireworks, and it's an amazing thing. Anybody out there wants to look it up. It's really a unique thing that they do in Valencia. Yeah, we had a wonderful relationship, but ultimately had an end date, and then I don't think she wanted to do because at some point I moved back to New York.
Okay.
She came to New York as well, but I think she found it a little hard to live here, without a work visa.
Oh.
And so eventually
that can be tough.
Yeah, she wanted to go back to Spain, and then that was the end of our time. But it's always something that very special to me. It's a very special time. I was a little bit more immature then than I am now, and I'm sure I did some things that maybe I wouldn't do now. But it was still a unique thing, and another thing I could probably write a book about.
You most definitely should write about that.
It's a wonderful time. Yeah,
there's probably a Netflix series waiting on Amazon. Amazon's making some good shows right now too. So, but whoever is gonna pay you for the show, I watch the show.
I'll share the money with her.
Well, you should share the money with me too.
Okay, because you gave me the idea, right?
Yeah, I gave the idea too. So I should be an executive producer or something.
Yeah,
I mean, I can add to the writing credits too. But but wow. So that means okay. So let's play a little game here.
Okay.
So there's a possibility that if it were someone from Madrid that had, you had pursued to Spain, you would have been a Real Madrid fan or Atletico Madrid. What about Barcelona?
Well, we all know that have an affinity or a little bit of a liking to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
So I don't, unlike other people, especially in Valencia, there's a huge animosity against Real Madrid.
I know.
In fact, that was the first game I ever went to, was a Real Madrid Valencia game. Not long after they were the first two teams to ever play each other, the first two teams from one country to play each other in the Champions League final. So I've always had, because my favorite ever player played for Real Madrid when I was out there, which is Ronaldo, the real Ronaldo.
The Brazilian Ronaldo.
The Brazilian Ronaldo.
Correct. There can be more than one Ronaldo.
Yeah, there's a few. But he was a very special person to me. Obviously, Brazilian World Cup winner, big guy, just do stuff with his body. Man. Yeah,
that's
so
my man.
My favorite ever player.
With the best haircut at the World Cup ever.
I actually have a really funny story about the Spanish girl. When she was living in New York, she was going back to Spain and said, what would you like for Christmas? Assuming that I was going to say a Valencia shirt of some kind. And I had a few, and, I would have loved to have another Valencia kit. But I said, I really want a Ronaldo Real Madrid shirt. And she said, I'll buy you a Brazil Ronaldo shirt if you want. But I'm not buying a Real Madrid shirt. I can't do that. It's like sacrilege.
Yep.
And I said, no, that's what I want. And seeing her anger, and being the person I was back then, I was like, I'm going to keep playing this, just see how far I can take it. And obviously, we didn't talk about it all the time, but she went and she was gone for, I don't know, a month or something like that. She came back and, we didn't talk about it, obviously. But then she was like, oh, I have a Christmas present for you. And I had forgotten about the Real Madrid Ronaldo thing. And she has the shirt crumpled up and throws it at me. Here, I got your gift. I want you to know how hard it was to do this for you. Oh. And she starts crying.
Oh, wow.
She got really emotional about it. And I was like, wow, this passion for this club is real, and it's to me, it was awesome, to see her that passionate about it. And also kind of funny. And I would wear that shirt around her and she'd be so upset.
I'm
was
laughing
really
because people don't even know how I love bashing Arsenal because I'm anti-English clubs.
right.
But one of my cousins in Nigeria had asked me for an Arsenal. He was getting married and he's an Arsenal fan, and he was like, "Oh, cousin, can you for my wedding? I just want an Arsenal shirt." And I was like, what the hell? I ain't spend my money for Arsenal. Hell no. And he was like, "Come on, bro, I've never asked you for anything." I was like, and my brother was about going to Nigeria. So I was like, you know what? Yes. Well, yeah, so I bought it for him. And like, man, I just hate this idea that I'm spending my money buying.
It's something I don't like.
I could buy the fake jersey. Maybe I should spend the money and buy the fake one. But I knew how awesome he would feel that I bought the authentic stuff for him.
Right.
So I spent the money and bought the authentic Arsenal shirt. And he was so happy. I saw him taking photos. And he'll be talking about, like, why are you tagging me on the photos? that gets me mad.
That's funny.
But just seeing him happy at the same time made me happy. But at the same time, I was mad too.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure she
like,
felt the same way.
God damn, an Arsenal fan is happy. I want to see you all happy. I love it when you guys lose.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then one time I was my ex fiance was a Barcelona. Well, she's still a Barcelona fan, and
you dated her.
I wasn't matured then, but it wasn't because she was a Barcelona fan. I wasn't matured. She's a great woman, but that was the only time I'd been like, okay, I'll buy a Barcelona outfit too. Barcelona. I closed my eyes, like, love makes people do some. We close our eyes and do cross that line, cross that bridge.
You can, yeah.
Yeah. So,
but I've always had a soft spot in my heart for Madrid.
Mm-hmm.
I was happy when they would win, like the Champions League when they won in 2002. I was happy. I was here in New York for that. Yeah.
Yeah,
they're okay in my book.
I could see some Valencia people. I don't understand this guy. I don't understand it. But yeah, I appreciate that. I'm no longer as hardcore Madridista as I once used to be. That I'm okay with sharing the pie. I'm like, I'm okay. I want other people to win, except Barcelona, obviously.
Yeah, never Barcelona.
Never Barcelona.
I still have not gotten rid of that.
No.
Ugh, I don't like them.
That's too like, yeah. I'm like, I can't get like. The only time I was nice about Barcelona was when they went 6 years without winning, and I felt bad for them. I felt bad because that's the period where I got to meet the real Barcelona fans, and they were so nice. And I was like, yeah, I feel sad for you guys. So I want you guys to win something. Like they couldn't beat Celtic, and I love Celtic, by the way, but they were struggling. And I was like, yeah, I would like to see you guys win. And
they won. They won a lot.
And then as soon as they said, oh man, everybody down, everybody beneath me, you all suck. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Here we go. So no.
Well, now that what's his name is gone, it's they're struggling a little bit.
Oh yeah, everybody's struggling now. I'm like, yep, struggle.
And my team is definitely struggling, so whatever.
Yeah, I hope Valencia can come back. It's a good time when Valencia are doing good.
Yeah,
I enjoy Valencia.
It's a tough.
I miss those days though.
Our
Chile Gonzalez.
Oh God, I loved him.
That was my man. Except when he played against Nigeria in the World Cup. But
yeah. Argentina, that's right.
Yeah, I never liked Argentina. So that's a different story. So Brazil is playing Spain at the World Cup. Who do you support?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think now Brazil because they haven't won in some time now. I think when's the last time they won the World Cup was
2002.
Yeah, against Germany. Yeah, so that's a long time now.
Yeah.
So I think Brazil. It's time for Brazil to do it again. Spain, got close to the Euros this past year. If it wasn't for penalty kicks, I'm quite confident that Spain would have beaten England in the final.
Oh, but I knew whoever won that game was going to beat England in the final.
And England scored that first goal against Italy. I think Italy was a little bit nervous, maybe.
I wasn't worried.
And then they started playing Italian football and controlling the game. You could see it happening. Minute by in 5-minute increments, you could see the game changing.
Yeah.
So Italy, hats off to them. Spain got close. I think they lost in penalties, and that's just too bad. But they have a wonderful young core of players coming up.
They do.
Some Barcelona talent, obviously, like Pedri and people like that. But they're fine. I think Brazil is due, though. They're
Yeah,
due. And I think this next World Cup, they're going in as one of the favorites.
they should be.
Yeah, so I
It's,
think
also outside of Europe, Brazil tends to do good outside of Europe. If you're
Right.
going by historical factors, yeah. So precedent. So yeah,
it's time. It's time.
I like Brazil. That's the number one team I have outside of Africa.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Is Nigeria qualified, or have they done
No,
qualifiers yet?
Africa is at the last round, which will be settled in March. You know, although we have the same number of countries as Europe, we only have 5 spots. So we are the last 10 heavyweights have to play each other.
Wow.
So in March, in January, the draws will be made, and then they face each other in March.
Oh, wow.
So
Gonna be tough.
yeah, it is the toughest qualifying rounds because some heavyweight like Ivory Coast is out because they're in
Wow.
the same group with Cameroon. So one person had to make it out. South Africa is out because they're in the same group with Ghana. So only one made it out.
And you guys, you made it out?
Nigeria was in a light group. They were with, I think, Cape Verde was the biggest team in their group. So,
Oh, okay. So
now they have to face either one of Ghana, Egypt,
tough games.
Morocco. Yeah.
Wow.
So there's some big team a bunch of big teams will be out.
Wow.
Yeah. So you've been another unique thing about you is apart from being the wrestling guy, the Valencia guy, you're not afraid to talk politics on your social media, and you're welcome at almost every sports bar in New York City. I haven't met anybody who has taken me to all the sports bars and like every bartender there knows him and like, hey. Well, that was pre-pandemic.
Is that good or bad? No, no.
That was good. 'Cause I got free drinks that day everywhere we went. So I was like, hey, man, I ain't complaining. I got free drinks. I don't know if that's still the same case now. You know, that was pre-pandemic, but
I haven't been going as much these days.
yeah. So this would be I just flipped the question in my head all of a sudden. So for someone visiting New York for the first time, let's say a wrestling fan, what bar would you take them to?
DDT right here in Park
DDT,
Slope.
all right.
DDT.
Soccer fan,
Smithfields. Smithfields and the Football Factory on
Factory.
33rd Street. You can go say hi to Jack Keane, and he'll take good care of you.
Oh yeah, I met Jack King, right?
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Gave me a free drink that day.
Over at Smithfields, it's Kieran. He'll take good care of you, and say hi to Fitzroy, who works the door. He's a really great guy, QPR fan. QPR. And they're both really wonderful places. You could walk from, bar to bar there, and it's both have a unique setting, And they like Legends has like a huge South American population that goes there for like the Brazil matches.
Yeah.
Like the Copa Libertadores was last week, right?
Oh yeah, that's true.
They had like thousands of people there, even outside watching the game.
Mm-hmm.
So that was, I think, 2 Brazilian teams played.
Yeah.
And then
and I forgot who played Flamengo. But yeah.
And I was there Sunday watching Chelsea and Manchester United.
Mm-hmm.
And then me and my buddy walked over to Smithfields just to like hang out and see like people, the soccer fans that have stayed around and are just chatting. So we had a lot of fun doing that. It's the supporter scene here in New York, I think, is a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
The Real Madrid supporters, Barcelona supporters, even though I don't like the team, the people are a lot of fun, and it's the banter is really great.
Oh yeah, you took me there, and I was in my Real Madrid gear, and they still bought me beer.
It never gets violent. It never gets personal. It's just
I like that. If it were violent, I would have written bad stuff about them.
And I have a funny story about the guy who, I don't know if he's still the president of the Barcelona Supporters Club. His name is Jordi. I was going. Valencia made the Copa del Rey final in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a wedding up in Rhode Island to go to. And so I was like, initially it was like, I'm going to go to Sevilla and watch the game. I'm going to be there live. But then I couldn't go because of the wedding. And I was like, I need to watch this game somehow. And I could not find a place showing the final. So then I called Jordy up and I was like, Jordy, please help me. You're the president of the supporters club. Is there a Barcelona supporters club in Providence where I could watch the game? And he's like, you're going to be in Providence? I was like, yeah. He's like, I'm going to be in Providence. My girlfriend went to Brown and it's Brown alumni weekend. So I'm going to be, so we ended up at a bar together watching the game, Barcelona versus Valencia. And, he was so congratulatory to me after we won. And, we had drinks. We took all these pictures together. But that's the community,
That's nice.
And that's
nice.
the supporters here in New York. It's people get along and they help each other out. And then we make fun of each other a little bit. But we all remain friends.
I like that. That. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah, that's one of the coolest experiences that I've had. Like when you took me to the Barcelona place, and I was like, "Oh man, how would they receive me? I should have won something else." And you were like, no. As soon as I walked in there, someone was like, "Oh, Real Madrid here! Ah, boo,
Boo,
boo!" And as
you want a drink?
to the Barcelona, I was still like, "Hey, here you go. Still give me a drink."
You need this because you're wearing a Real Madrid shirt. Yeah.
Oh man.
No, it's a great bunch of people.
Okay, but there was one I didn't ask you about. What about hockey?
Oh, hockey. Well, I haven't been
Which
to
is
the
ice hockey for international listeners.
I am a New York Islanders supporter. They are. I kind of seem to be attracted to these hard luck teams, kind of like the New York Jets, the Islanders.
I was going to ask you about Jets and
the Yankees aren't, but like Valencia kind of equates to like the Mets or the Islanders a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
The Islanders used to play here in Barclays for a few seasons, which was great. I had because they're basically right down the street from me.
They used to give me free tickets too, and then they stopped.
We went one time, remember?
Yeah. Well, I think we went one on ones.
Yeah, really good times there. But I haven't been to the place where I'm going to suggest, even though Madison Square Garden is where the New York Rangers play.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a Rangers fan, so I'm not going to recommend it.
Rangers, they don't give me free tickets. So.
Yeah. Screw them. So I would say the new arena that the New York Islanders built out in Elmont, it's called UBS Arena. Hopefully I'll be out there soon and I can watch an Islanders game, even though they're having a really poor season.
Oh,
you got to hope
that they made playoffs last season.
They were a game from the Stanley Cup Finals.
Oh, no.
They lost 1-0 to the eventual champions.
Yeah.
We've lost twice in a row to them in the semifinals. So hard luck, but they're a great. That's another great fan base, great franchise.
Mm-hmm.
I love them dearly.
I wish you had stayed in Brooklyn. But
I wish if it was hockey specific, but it's just not. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible sight lines, but we have the Nets. So
the Nets became a super team and stopped giving me free tickets too. I'm like, come on, I was there for you guys when you guys sucked. Now you all got superstars. And you're like, no, we don't give free tickets anymore. I'm like, come on, man. Come on, show some love.
Show some love to your...
They gave me 8 tickets one time. I was like, woo, I'm your fan for life.
When they sucked.
I'm your fan. I supported you guys against LeBron. You know what that means? I don't support anybody against LeBron. He's the king. I support my king always. That's the only king I respect. I recognize. The only king I recognize in America. And then
not Elvis?
Who that?
Oh, God.
Myself and Verena almost had a fight that day because she was like, LeBron, I'm not impressed by LeBron. I was like, oh, my goodness. No, what? Because I think he was with Cleveland then, and Cleveland lost to Brooklyn. And she was like, I'm not feeling him. I was like, what is going on here? Do we have to reevaluate this relationship?
Oh, my God.
Do we?
Over LeBron.
Do we? But it wasn't that serious.
That's good.
And the seats were great that day, too.
Yeah.
So it was, I think they put us on row 14.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was like, come on. I don't mind row. Okay, put me on the first floor. I'm fine with that. You don't have to put me on. But come on. It's like super team now. Nope. We're not even put you on the third floor anymore. No.
They're a super team, but they lose to really good teams. I think they padded their record with, beating bad teams.
Well, We'll see. I'm like, give me free tickets, and then I'll start following you again.
Yeah.
That's it.
After that, I don't care.
Yeah, I'll pay attention to your results. The moment I started noticing that there were no tickets coming anymore, I was like, man, I don't care about the results anymore. I'm gonna just go start following the Lakers, which is difficult. It's difficult because I've been talking trash about Lakers for a long time.
Oh,
Until
and now you
LeBron
have no
went there.
choice.
After LeBron signed the Lakers, I was like, oh man, this bandwagon is tough now. It's a tough bandwagon for me because this is the first time the being on the bandwagon has come back to bite me.
Because of LeBron, he had to do it.
I was like, man, I used to be proud of being on the bandwagon until LeBron signed with the Lakers. I was like, oh, there's some people waiting for me, like on Facebook. Like they'll come and be like, Lakers won. They'll be like, I remember you in 2012 saying the Lakers suck. I know there's some people just waiting for me. Like, I've been waiting. You was like, Lakers, they're trash. Lakers are this. I'm like, no.
Now
I
you have a
loved
jersey.
I always loved Lakers. I got 5 Lakers jerseys at home. And then, like, we're just waiting. I'm like, yeah.
And if you like soccer, today, when you're recording this, NYCFC is playing semifinal.
No. Well, this is, by the time people will hear this, it's 2022.
Oh, so that was, hopefully they won the MLS Cup.
No. Yeah, that's the team you can't get me on. That's like your best performing, that's like your richest team, technically. You're not Yankees, right?
I am a Yankees fan.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. So Yankees are the richest team, so we can count
Yeah.
NYCF. But NYCF, I don't know. Other than that experience of meeting David Villa, I think that was just the coolest thing. But I don't know. I've never been attracted to them. NY Red Bull,
It's just too far away.
it
to
is
go.
too far away. And and walking to the stadium, that experience is not a cool experience too. Like if it were something where you could just get off the train and then get to the stadium, I'm fine with that. But walking, it's not fun.
Yeah.
It's not fun. Like it's like yeah, you're in New Jersey. I'm like this feels like being in Staten Island too. So yeah. Shout out to Staten Island people. I don't hate you.
We love Staten Island.
We reconcile in 2020. 2022 is about love.
Exactly.
We're about love. I love you guys, New Jersey people. Come join my Patreon. I show love to everybody there. Okay, give me money.
Exactly.
No. But yeah. I'm still I don't know. This year I think I might be officially leaving my DC United. My love for DC United might officially end.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it might. I don't know. MLS. I've not really supported. I've not really followed MLS that much for some time.
It's hard to follow, to be honest.
I don't really like the league. Just to be honest.
They need a different structure, I think. Promotion relegation would be really wonderful.
I'm down with that.
There's no urgency to the games.
It's just
Doesn't matter.
yeah. But it's entertaining. I ain't gonna lie, but I just don't feel it. So it's fine. It works for many people though. So I don't I don't want to take their joy. And I'm like, yeah, if it works for you, it works for you. But yeah, we'll keep that for them.
Yeah.
But well, enough of the sports. Let's jump into something that has more juice.
Oh boy.
Dating in a pandemic.
Yeah.
How's that been like?
Interesting.
So
different.
being a single dad, that's challenging enough.
Yeah.
Being a single dad in a pandemic, a global pandemic, that's extra challenging. Being a single dad who is in the dating game in the pandemic, now that's quadruple challenging because people don't even consider that as something that is challenging. So how do you navigate that field?
Well, during the beginning of the pandemic, I guess I started around May of 2020, where I was like, I'd like to meet someone. It'd been 5 months, 6 months since my previous relationship ended. Yeah, Zoom dates.
Zoom
that was
Zoom,
unique.
man. Zoom.
Hanging out in the park,
Mm-hmm.
6 feet apart, wearing masks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was unique. It was different. It's been unique and different, but at the same time fun. Dating, you're just getting to know people.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it's about. You just want to make a connection with somebody. Some people I've stayed friends with.
Yeah.
Other people I don't talk to anymore. Obviously, the name of the game is to meet somebody. You want to meet someone, and
That's the point.
but it's about priorities and what comes first. So dating can be hard because my daughter will always come first. She's the main event of my life.
Sure.
Now these days, and so I always have to take into account that and the time that I spend with whoever I end up with, and getting to know, et cetera, et cetera. You have to have that understanding that if I need to go away, the priority is always going to be my daughter. So that can be hard with people that don't have children.
Yeah.
But people who do have children understand, and then you just have to navigate it. How you're gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because I don't want anyone meeting her until we're like really close.
Yeah.
I think previously I had done that where they met the person very quickly. And I'm not going to say it was a mistake, but I think, now that she's older, she would be more attached probably to the person. And what if after like 3 or 4 months they're no longer in my life,
Yeah.
And so I have to, things like that you have to be more aware of instead of just being loosey-goosey and meeting someone. You have to navigate the waters. You have to have an understanding, a compromise. No.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. So it makes it a little bit harder,
Yeah.
And I'm getting older.
Right.
So
I guess with age comes that wisdom too.
Yeah, I've definitely learned a lot in this last 5 years of dating since she was born. I've definitely learned a lot about myself and about dating.
Well, isn't that part of it, like, learning about yourself and learning from mistakes? And
I've made a lot of them.
hey, who hasn't? Who hasn't? But also owning to your mistakes and using that to push forward, and pushing forward as in not repeating them, like taking the lessons from the mistakes and applying them positively in moving forward. Like, okay, I'm going to, this is what I want now, and now I know myself. I know what works for me, and what I want in someone who should be in my life and in my daughter's life and in our relationship.
Right,
'Cause
exactly.
you're not just getting me in this.
You're getting my tag team partner.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
You're getting a double.
And everything that goes with that.
Yeah.
Which is, more. It's a responsibility,
So when you started the Zoom dating, well, were there any awkward moments?
Oh my God, it's all awkward. It's all the first.
Well, you got any story you would like to share?
Yeah, I mean I remember the first person that I had a Zoom date with. I was so nervous. I drank. I got silly. I'm sure she must have thought I was an idiot, but but we had a few Zoom dates, and then she happened to live in the neighborhood, and then we got together, and we had a nice month run, and then it was like, we're not right for each other, and that was fine,
Yeah.
We're still friends, friendly,
That's cool.
and I sometimes see her around, and we'll say hello to each other and chat for a bit, and she never met my daughter, obviously, but she'll be like, "How's your daughter?" Et cetera, et cetera. How's your family? Things like that. So, yeah. Also, I had some dates in the park. You bring a 6-pack and you just have a chat and a blanket because it was luckily getting warm at that time. Yeah, it's been a unique experience for sure.
So how's the availability of vaccines improved your dating game?
Well, luckily we've been able to go inside into, and especially when it's cold, Last year we would have outdoor dates in the freezing cold, but now we can go inside, and I have to get the booster though,
Oh, I already got my booster.
Oh, you already got it?
Oh yeah.
Did you have an effect?
Nah, excuse me. I think the third day I felt, but it wasn't like I felt something I didn't really feel anything, to be honest.
Mm.
Yeah.
I have
But
to get
I
it.
never even when Verena got hers. I think it was the second day she just felt a little bit weak. But most people have heard from just either the first day or the second day. And
And then you're fine.
yeah, but it's literally if you have any effect, it's like what you got for either your first or second shot.
Oh, okay.
But it doesn't last more than 2 days
That's
at
good.
most.
I have to get that very soon.
Yeah, you should.
But yeah, it's
Get boosted up. So your 5G is strong, man.
5G strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been unique. I've kind of tapered off and more reevaluating what I want, but we'll see. We'll see what happens going
So
forward.
if someone shows up and like I would like to, if someone shows interest in you and says, but I'm not vaccinated, I'm still waiting and blah blah.
I don't think that that's for me.
right.
I don't think that that's a good thing.
Yeah, I was just checking, just in case.
I trust the science.
All right. I was just checking in case you're one of those people like, well, but she look good, so I might bend the rules, I might,
We have to have values,
Okay. All right. So let's begin to wrap this up. You've been giving us a lot of your time, and we appreciate that. So we are in a new year, and it's part of the new year. People always have resolutions. You have stuff to look forward to. So what are you looking forward to in 2022?
2022, being more action oriented. So not procrastinating as much as I have. I was having a discussion with my friend yesterday about all the things that I wanted to do and just never got around to doing. And he's like, you just have to do it, Stop waiting. Just do it.
So you're writing the book?
Maybe I will be writing the book. I'll start workshopping it.
So if I invite you to something, you're going to...
Yeah, I'll go, yeah.
Okay.
You have a tendency to invite me and me not showing up, I know.
You got you on record.
But that, setting up a nice home for my daughter,
Nice.
maybe changing careers. I currently work in supply chain for a big hospital.
Yeah,
here in New York.
Are you like leaving supply chain? Thinking of leaving supply chain, or
possibly? I don't know. I'm more a creative person, and I want to start moving towards that aspect of my personality.
All right.
So that's the writing. Even this is kind of creative in a way.
Hey, I might need a co-host. I might need someone to take over for me if I want to go on vacation. So hey,
it's well, thank you for having me on. It's been wonderful. But yeah, those are the things that I want to accomplish this year. Mostly travel. It would be wonderful to say I'm going to meet somebody, but that's not really a goal. That'll happen if it happens.
Yeah,
I'm intentional about it, meaning I've put myself out there, but it's not like the number one goal. The number one goal is mostly like just being very action oriented, not procrastinating anymore. When I say I'm going to do something, I need to do it, and realizing that we don't have that much time on this planet, and you never know what's going to happen. So make the most of your day.
The aliens might finally show up.
I hope so. I'll bow down to the
showing up and seeing like, man, this planet is trash. This planet is ratchet. It's too ratchet. Make a U-turn.
I'm out of here.
They're gonna infect us with some
corona.
Hell no, we don't want this. Hell no, out of here.
I don't blame them.
All right, so surprisingly, you didn't say nothing about the World Cup in 2022.
Oh well, the Qatar, the whole Qatar thing really annoys me. It bothers me.
It doesn't.
It doesn't bother you?
No. I mean,
it bothers me. And it's in November, December.
So Christmas.
Yeah.
Hello.
I'm saying that now, but I'm sure when it comes around, I'm going to be wearing my Spain, Brazil shirts.
The Euros had a homophobic country hosting, and I mean, people don't talk about other places, but it's like Qatar has a World Cup, a stadium built of containers that they will dismantle. I mean, I love that. It's easily dismantled. That's it. Other places built with cement, which is why do you even use cement for? I mean,
a stadium.
We spend billions to build this, and like that is smart technology right there. I mean, yeah, criticize for the right reasons. Don't criticize because a brown country is you don't like a brown Muslim country.
Well, no, that's not it for
That's
sure.
majority of the criticism
Yeah.
because if you look at there are people who are actually receiving money from other countries, like I don't want to get banned in some of those countries, so I won't say the
You
countries'
won't say the
names.
names.
I want people in those countries to be able to listen, but I've seen the proof, and one of them just bought a Premiership team, and that's why I've made this joke before. Like on the Premiership, we know the owners of the Premiership, and people always that's why I don't support the kneeling thing in the first place. And I say this stuff like if you say Qatar shouldn't have hosted, then USA should be hosting 2026 because Trump threatened countries if you don't vote for America, you ain't gonna get anything from America. So you must
Terrible.
vote for America. Everybody kept quiet about that. There was all manner of BS happening. We saw Germany steal from Morocco in the past. We've seen all manner of bribery. We've seen all manner of stuff, but it's different when it's Western countries. The World Cup is not balanced. It's never been balanced, but
Yeah.
it's called World Cup. It should go around the world. If you want to spend that money, spend it. Whatever you want to do. Qatar does a lot more positive stuff than many other Middle Eastern countries. Are they perfect? Hell no.
No.
But I support them hosting the World Cup. I was mad when they got it because back then I was supporting USA to get it.
Yeah. Well, we'll get
And
it.
then they gave USA the World Cup in 2006 in a very bad way. So
Yeah.
so it's something that many people were okay with because they wanted a white majority country to get it. So it's not when it's Western, everybody's like cool. It don't matter how it happens. There were children locked up in cages then. I remember there was all manner of racism which is still in existence. All that stuff. Everybody's like, oh, cool. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And I'm like, yes, well, that.
Right. Exactly. People don't talk about everything. But,
Nobody talking about that. I mean, Supreme Court's about to take.
oh God.
I mean, by the
Terrible.
time this comes out, will we still have? Will our women have right to abortion anymore? We don't know, but But we are talking about Qatar, critical race theory. Oh, So
Once it rolls around, I know I'm going to be watching. So.
if I get a free ticket, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I'll
Exactly.
go. I'd rather go to that than be here for the 2026. To be honest, but I'll attend any World Cup. I can attend. That's just it. But I don't believe in Qatar shouldn't host the World Cup. Qatar can afford to host it. They're one of the countries that can actually afford to host the World Cup. So why not?
Why not?
And if it's November, December, I don't see any problem with it. It will force the Premiership to take a break finally.
Yeah.
So they should take a break. They should. They overuse people. Club complaining about the African Nations Cup, which I get what he said recently. That wasn't. It was overblown. But
Klopp said something, right?
yeah, he made a satirical statement, and people used that to attack him.
Yeah.
But in the past, he's complained about African Nations Cup. I think that's why they attacked him now for saying it's a little tournament. That wasn't what he meant by little, but it's his past scenes.
He meant like, oh, there's a little tournament
It's
happening.
his past scenes where people have been waiting for an opportunity to get him.
That's too bad.
So it's all these things. There's so many things in the game which it's like I'm like
the money part of it ruins it for me sometimes.
It's not an even playing field. I don't think it'll ever be. I mean, Africa, the FIFA is pushing a CAF Super League.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
For 20 teams. And these are the exact same arguments that the Real Madrid and Barcelona were using for the Super League in Europe for Africa, that it would benefit the African leagues. And I'm like, Fiorentino Perez is just going to be mad. He's going to be like, you see what I'm saying? You see? And I'm like, so, don't get me started with that. But so I watch the World Cup when it comes, but probably that's when I'll get my subscription for CBS because everything is subscription. So to wrap it up, food. If someone comes to New York, what's the first place you're taking them to go eat?
Oh my God. Let's see. I'm going to take them to Socarat, which is a paella bar. They have a few
You-
locations
you're
in
thinking with
Midtown.
Spanish.
Spanish, yeah. Even though there's great food everywhere here,
Of course.
but I would take them there because I love paella. So definitely there.
Okay.
Where's your place?
That's a good question, man. It's not about me. Nah, I didn't think about that. You got me. You're the first guest who have got me with that. I have too many places. I have my hole in the wall Chinese place, Golden Delight, and I don't think I'll take anybody there. I mean, I'll take people there, but it depends on the person. If they are too bougie, I'm taking to the Vietnamese place on 7th Avenue,
7th and what?
7th and excuse me, 9th Street.
Okay.
What's that place called? I once met what's his name again? The guy from Ant-Man, the villain in Ant-Man movie there. I didn't talk to him. He was with his family, so I didn't interrupt him eating there. I forgot his name. He was in House of Cards. Was it first season? He wasn't first and second season. He was the congressman that got pushed into. Was it the congressman who pushed the assistant into the lady he was having an affair with into
The train?
the train?
Kevin
Yeah.
Spacey?
Was it? Oh no, Kevin Spacey did that. The congressman who he was helping, who was like I think committed suicide.
Oh, the one who got drunk on
Yeah, he got.
the interview.
Yeah,
He was running for governor of Pennsylvania,
I think so.
and then
In the first season or second season.
second season, I
Second
think,
season.
yeah.
That guy, the guy who played that role, I met him at that Vietnamese restaurant. I forgot the name, but it's on it's by 7th Avenue and 9th Street. Cool. Sorry? Song? Oh. I don't know if that's the name. But yeah, I think but I think that might be the name. I don't think I ever look at their name. I just go there to eat. It's good Vietnamese food.
I got to check it out.
And if it's burritos, I have a burrito place, Jalapeno Kings, which is on 5th Avenue by 24th Street, between 24th and 22nd and 23rd. And if you want Nigerian food, Divine Flavored,
That's not the place on
Atlanta.
Fulton.
No, hell no. That place is hell no. That place is out of bounds. I don't take people there. Yo, they pissed me off too many times. So nope, I ain't gonna say their name. Nope. Divine Flavored. Yeah, that's the one you ate at Verena's
Oh,
birthday.
yes.
Yeah.
That was excellent food.
Yeah. So Cesar can testify to that. So I got a bunch of places. There's a Brazilian place that I think Chao Fago. No, I forgot now. The meat place, Brazilian meat place. I haven't been there in a long time though.
For Thanksgiving, we went to Via Brazil in Little Brazil, which is a really excellent restaurant. Really great food. Actually, maybe that's the place I would take them. Via Brazil.
Via Brazil. Okay. All right. So we need you to dance for an hour. What the music you gonna, shake your body to? Give us 3 artists that'll keep you dancing. And you can't give us the Drakes. You can't give us your Megadeth. I'm gonna take the most popular names away from you.
Oh God.
You gotta give us your Spain, from your Brazil. Give us from there.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Getama from Spain is a really wonderful band. They're like fusion. They do like nuevo flamenco, jazz, Cuban. They kind of do a little bit of everything. I discovered them when I was in Spain. Really beautiful artists. Bomba Estetico.
Estadio.
The New York Times just released their top 10 albums of 2021, and one of the critics, it was his number 1 album, and I listened to it, and wow, just really, really good music from Colombia. It's a girl and a guy, and they do it's like hip hop, dance, traditional music. It's really, really good. So I'm glad that I read the article about
nice.
Bomba Estedio. So I
Okay.
said the first band I said was
Getama.
Ketama,
Getama.
Ketama. They're an older band. They did a live album called De Aquí a Ketama, which was released in '95. Apparently, it was really a big deal in Spain. That's just wonderful, really wonderful music. And then yeah, this is a hard question for me because I like heavy metal.
I know.
I
That's why I
like.
intentionally took it away from you. I mean, you can give us someone from. Okay, I'll give you a caveat. You can go Norway. You can go somewhere outside. You can go. You can pick an independent band from here. I just don't want you to go with like the most popular names.
I mean, one of my favorite bands is Faith No More. They're kind
I
of an
thought I've heard
independent
that name
band.
before,
They are.
or maybe it was from you.
They have a lot of offshoots like Mr. Bungle, Tomahawk. Um, they're just a really unique band. They're a really unique sound.
Or maybe it was from David Amoya.
Yeah, I love them. They're definitely in my top 5 bands that I listen to.
Alrighty. So, final question.
Okay.
What would you like to leave the audience with? Could be from your future book that will be coming out.
Please read it.
That you start writing in 2022. Or could be from one of your favorite wrestlers. Could be from one of your favorite sports people. Or could be from one of your favorite songs.
What do I want to leave people with? Maybe, I just read this really great book by this guy called Gary John Bishop. He's a Scottish writer. The book is called Wise as F. I don't know if we can curse here.
You can cuss, yeah.
Wise as fuck. And it's just like he studied philosophy and then is applying it kind of like self-help way. But it's not really self-help because it's like it's not about really motivating you. It's about just telling you like these truths that are like eternal throughout human history. And I don't know, one of the things that struck me, and I think I just mentioned now, is that life is short. Having the ideal that we're going to die one day should push you to take action. And so I would leave everyone with the ideal that if you're not feeling good, if you're feeling sad, take action. Do something to get yourself out of it. I'm going to try this year. I'm going to do this year the things that I have intended to do for a long time. So that's by taking action. However small an action it is, but I want to be moving. I want to be kinetic, not sitting at home as potential energy. I want to actually be doing things. This is a part of it. Doing a podcast, I think, is a wonderful way to get your juices flowing and get your creativity going. Being out there, doing stuff, not sitting by, not watching Netflix, something, or wrestling.
There's stuff.
There's the great stuff there
you can
too.
get from there too. I mean, there are people who've using that.
Even me, like I love movies, and the last couple of years I haven't really been watching movies.
Yeah.
So I've made an intention to start watching movies. I saw a really wonderful movie the other day, Power of the Dog. It's on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful
I
movie.
haven't watched it.
I watched Dune. Like things like this. So I just want to start.
Yeah, I knew you was gonna watch Dune. I haven't watched it. I'm thinking of getting it on rental. But
Great movie.
I might talk to you about that after I watch it.
Yeah, but basically that's make sure to take action on the things that you are important in your life, whatever goals you have, and just keep moving day by day, step by step. You'll have failures, but just keep moving.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's the important thing.
Awesome. So, where can people find you?
Here. No, if they if they want to follow my Twitter, it is
I'll do that too with my Twitter.
AMUNTI Amunti. You'll see the Valencia shield on the profile picture. Follow me there. I talk about wrestling, soccer.
Wait, Amunti, that's it? No,
Yeah.
NYC?
AMUNTI. I think they call it's NY Amunti, but the profile name is AMUNTI.
Okay. All right. So that will be added to the show notes. And you can follow Cesar on Twitter and get a lot of Valencia stuff, get a lot of wrestling stuff, and get a lot of good stuff. And once again, thank you for coming on the podcast. Gracias.
Thank you for having me.
Merci beaucoup.
I appreciate it.
And yeah, so keep listening, keep staying with us, subscribe, like, share, 5-star reviews, positive reviews, send your feedback, voicemails. You can do that on the website. I've increased the time that you can spend, you can use to give us voicemails on the website. It's easy. Just click on feedback on the website. All right. Don't forget, merch store. Get everything there. All right. I'll see you at the next episode. Keep the love coming. Thank you for the privilege of your company. Thanks for listening to White Label American. If you enjoy the show, we'll appreciate if you rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you get your podcast from. If you have any questions, comments, or have someone who will be a good guest on the show, or you want to be on the show, send us a message at whitelabelamerican@gmail.com. And make sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at White Label American. Thank you for your support.